What is up, ball bags? JJ back here from Pure Bets with another free pick for you. This time it's going to be for Thursday Night Football in the NFL. Game's going to be played between the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos on October the 1st. Current spread is Jets -1.5, total 40. So recapping last week, I gave you guys Miami +3, the Dolphins, which cashed pretty easily, I think wire to wire. Mentioned that Miami just wasn't getting enough respect in that spot, and it had that as nice value. Also hit my best bet on the video with Holden from Sunday morning with the Bucks under 42.5. Also, by the way, we had two 4-0 winners from the comments from last week's Thursday Night Football video. You guys have just been smashing, so kudos to you. Last week's winners were Jamie Beaver and Best Pie Eater, both going 4-0. I gave you guys both a shout on my Twitter as well earlier in the week. Be sure to DM at RunPureBets on Twitter for us to get you that free t-shirt. And look, let's run this back again, right? It's been fun. So drop 4 NFL games. Could include tomorrow if you'd like, or Thursday, depending on the time you watch this. Go 4-0 against the spread and earn yourself a free shirt. And like I said, against the spread, as always, none of this like -400 moneyline nonsense. You all know better. But yeah, look, good luck. Don't be shy. Fire away in the comments. On to the game at hand here. But before we do, let's talk a bit about the presidential debate from Tuesday. Look, I'm kidding, folks. Relax. I could just sense like your ass cheeks tightening up at the thought. Trump saying, though, that he brought back Big Ten football was legit quality material. Serious question, though, because you guys know these videos are strictly business. You ever have to take a shit, but you're just like too lazy to get up, so you like end up crapping yourself on the couch instead? Yeah, me either. I mean, I'm just asking for a friend. But I will say, though, if you haven't tried this yet, it's worth adding to the bucket list, unless it's like one of those like explosive episodes where like the walls might get painted. Then probably best to avoid, but just my overall 2 cents. Okay, so the New York Jets host the Denver Broncos. For anyone that thought last week's game was a battle of the tomato cans, this game more or less says hold my beer. I mean, woof, what an ugly game here. Now, I'm not saying it's going to play out as ugly as it looks, but on paper, this isn't exactly a game you're going to want to staple your eyes open for. So let's talk what happened with this line from open, then I'll dive into some of the things I'm on. So line opens Denver -2.5. Money brings this to 3. And then Denver throws a wrench into the mix, right? They announced Brett Rypien, Mark Rypien's son, as the starter. This almost immediately pushed this line back to pick 'em. And deservedly so, right? I mean, a third-string quarterback on the road laying points. I'll tell you this, though. At 2.5 with Driscoll, it was a Jets lean for me. At 3, it was a strong lean, as I even had it about 1.5 at that point. When Driscoll got ruled out, though, I thought the drop-off should have been bigger than 3 points. Needless to say, I do like the Jets' money line in this game. Mentioned it on my Discord earlier today. Hinted at it last night as well. It was -108 then, -124 now. It's fine. -124 is a play we'll stick to for this video. Brett Rypien, what's his story, right? We all have a story, right? I'm not going to sit here, though, and give you like his height, weight, or well-endowedness. I mean, who am I to talk, right? I'm hung like a fire ant. But Rypien played some good years over at Boise. Not like Kellen Moore-esque, but serviceable. Gets his first crack here, though, as a starter. And went better, though, right, than a Thursday night against the putrid Jets. Now, you might say the Jets are the worst team ever assembled. But look, let's take a step back, right, face some facts. This team was hurting at multiple positions. We'll now get some of their guys back, right? Crowder's expected to play. 2 starting offensive linemen coming back along with a corner. Well, allegedly, right? I mean, I guess it's a possibility that any mix of those 4, might not play, right? But supposed to. Meanwhile, the Broncos just have a laundry list of injuries they're dealing with. I won't go through the list, but I'll just tell you that they are actually $63 million of cap space in injuries. Now, how does this not degrade them in like your own rankings, right? Let's talk strength of schedule for a moment. The Jets have seen the Bills, the 49ers, and the Colts. 3 unanimous, or more or less unanimous, preseason division winners, and 2 of which, who many thought could be in the Super Bowl before the season started. Sure, they get blown out by all 3. But with their injuries, is it that crazy to think that would have happened? The Broncos have seen Titans, Steelers, and Bucks, 3 good teams. But can't we argue that all 3 teams the Jets have seen are better than all 3 teams the Broncos have seen, right? Now, if these teams are so unequal, right? If you're looking at this game and being like, oh, the Jets suck, I can't bet the Jets. If they're so unequal, wouldn't everything show like more of a disparity, especially like key things? Like, for instance, points per play. Okay, Jets 0.211, Broncos 0.237. Nothing crazy there, right? How about yards per play? Jets 4.5, Denver, 4.6. That's offensive yards per play. Or how about, okay, so maybe the defenses have been different, right? Defensive yards allowed per play. Jets, 5.7. Denver, 5.5. And again, let's not forget the strength of schedule heavily favoring the Jets early on here. So it's not crazy to think those numbers should be too far off. And again, the Jets are starting to bring some of their starters back, and Denver is still missing more people, especially on that defense. So look, I get, the Jets here returning 2 offensive linemen, Darnold's best pass catcher in Crowder, at home versus a Denver squad rolling out their third-string starter on a short week on the road with countless starters out. And again, specifically on the defensive side of the ball, it's an ugly game and borderline unpredictable with all the added variance on both sides. But I do see some value on the Jets here, and I will hop on. As for the total, I think many will navigate towards the under. Deservedly so, right? I mean, 2 bad offenses. Do keep in mind, though, that totals 40 under-ish really aren't that common in the NFL. And look how many points have been scored in the NFL the first 3 weeks. And sometimes, like when totals are this low, games accidentally go over. When I say that, I mean like muffed punts, interceptions, fumble recoveries. Just weird things can happen to make a game go over such a low number like 40. Also, it's not like these two teams are like standout defenses either. I mean, Denver's missing Von Miller. Jets are definitely nothing to squawk at on defense. So look, I'm going to stay off the total. As for a player prop that I like, I mean, this is so difficult too with so many variables, right? I think Noah Fant will be the tight end for Denver will be an obvious love for many, I think, with his receiving yards at a low number of 44.5. It's lower than any output he's had all year. Do keep in mind, though, new QB does add a level of variance into the mix. On the Jets side, Jamison Crowder comes back, and look, who knows what his true workload is going to be and how that'll impact the other receivers in the mix. Perrin out of the backfield behind Gore has been seeing more touches out of the backfield, so who knows how that split's going to be, especially in a closer game, right? I'll just stick to the Jets play as the official play, and if something new pops up, I will add it on my Twitter. That's at Sports with Facts, by the way. Speaking of player props, though, we have a new partnership with Prize Picks. For those that aren't aware, Prize Picks, very cool mix of player props and fantasy sports. You basically have to pick whether multiple players will go over or under their fantasy points for a given game based on the scoring criteria. Scoring criteria is always the same, but I just wanted to mention that. It's all based on the scoring. Now, it's literally like daily fantasy sports meets player props. The market is quite juicy, and the payouts are nice, right? So while I don't love any player props specifically at current numbers, I really do like 2 player picks on Prize Picks as a cool flex play, and you could do it as a power play. Flex play is basically like you can get one of your picks wrong and still kind of make some money. Power play is you get them all right and they pay better odds. Like, for instance, if you get 2 out of 2 right, it's going to pay 3 to 1. If you get 3 out of 3 right, it's going to pay 5 to 1. Flex play, you can get 1 wrong, still get a little change out of it as well. So the 2 I like, Sam Darnold over 13 fantasy points and Melvin Gordon over 12.5 fantasy points. What you're getting in these numbers here from Prize Picks are, it's an overall low total, a lot of low player props in general. So you're getting lower numbers from every player on their site. I have both these numbers actually quite low. I mean, Darnold projects near 250 yards through the air in this game, especially with getting Crowder back. If he gets there, that would be 10 points alone. On passing touchdown is 4, so that would put him right over 14. Doesn't even include, if he scampers for a few on the ground, rushing. Melvin Gordon, 12.5 is also too low. Gordon projects about 3 catches for around 20 yards and another 70 about on the ground. That would be 12 right there if he just meets the median and if that doesn't even include if he happens to land in the end zone, which will be a free 6. So really like those 2 spots there, over 12.5 Gordon, over 13 Darnold. Head over to prizepicks.com. Use our code PURE. That's PURE to sign up. You'll get a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. Free $100 if you deposit $100. They offer players in every sport every day with juicy payouts as mentioned. It's like watching sports from literally a whole new lens. I'll be adding more picks daily on runpurebets.com as I've been for the last few weeks as well. And as I've said, it's a lot of fun, right? It's a whole different way to watch sports. Promo code again, PURE, PURE, for the free money with your deposit. And I'll also include all this in the description of the video as well. So to recap, I am on the Jets money line, minus 124, and I like Darnold over 13 fantasy points and Gordon over 12.5 fantasy points on prizepicks.com. I'll add a player prop on my Twitter tomorrow if something pops up that I do like. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, thumbs up, create some fake accounts more. Thumbs up. If you did not enjoy, I hope you fall in a sewer. As always, drop comments below with your thoughts on the vid. And look, start, dropping your picks for the weekend, right? Your 4 picks against the spread in the NFL. Again, you go 4-0, you'll get a free Run Pure Bet shirt, right? Remember, though, this is a safe place. Post any picks you want. No one's going to complain. And you guys also know I always get back to you in the comments if you have any questions. We will be back all weekend with content, including my Sunday AM preview video with Holden. So stay tuned for that. I wish you all the best of luck with all your bets. Gamble responsibly and stay safe, folks.